Well, hey again, everyone. This is Bob from Hot Rock Central, and in today's video, I'm going to take you through my latest lithium build. This is a 8S pack that I just got finished a couple of weeks ago. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you'll notice that my solar wall, it was just splattered with all kinds of meters and gauges and stuff like that. So anything that was associated with this battery pack here, I pulled that off the wall and incorporated it into the build. For example, I've got a column meter here, and that tells me exactly how much current I've got left in my batteries. And since this is a 300 amp hour pack, that's what I've got left there in that. And I like to know exactly what's going in and out of my battery. So as far as current, so I put the current gauge on there, and that tells me how much is going in or out and the voltage. And over there is the shunt that's associated with that meter that it runs off of. And then, of course, I've got a balance board right there. And there is a JBD 100 amp BMS. And well, there's my first build right there. And unfortunately, I bought some really crappy batteries from a shyster Chinese dealer. And no telling what grade they are, but actually I get the full 280 amps out of it. That's what it is, a 280 amp hour pack. I get the full amount out of it. The thing is the batteries are so I don't know, they're so out of whack that they don't charge or discharge balanced. So instead of one balance board on there, I've got two, and this thing is so out of whack on balancing, I could add another one or two, and it probably would still not balance very well. Now, in a situation like this, where you get some bad batteries that don't balance good, I came up with a way to help balance them a little bit better when they're charging. One thing you notice when you get bad batteries, one or more cells might take off and go ahead of the rest of them and get really hot. And what I came up with to cure that problem is there's some 6-volt car light bulbs, and I hooked them up to a switch bank, and then I'll take put all that into a set of terminals here, and any cell that gets too hot, I just put it on there, just flip on the switches and watch my my app and see what my cell voltage is. Come on. All right. I'm having a bad connection here. There we go. All right. There they go. They're lit up now. So anyways, depending on what your app tells you, you can switch in more or less what you need to keep the cells balanced with the rest of them. Now, oddly enough, a lot of people think you can't do this, but down there on the floor is 6 AGMs, and it just happens to be the brand is VMAX. And let me tell you something about the VMAX batteries. I bought these used from a guy that had it in his golf cart, and I've had them for a couple of years, and these suckers are about as good as new, man. You can't kill these things. So if you're looking for some AGMs, go for VMAX. It probably costs a little bit more than the other ones, but these are some tough MFers. Now, getting back to mixing these AGMs up with lithiums, a lot of people think you can't do that. Well, that's not true. These things are actually working great together. The only difference is when you go to charging up the batteries, you've got to cut back to 27.6 volts rather than 28.8 that you would usually use on AGMs. The reason is once you get your batteries topped off, and many of you who are familiar with lithium batteries know that when you first get them in, you've got to top them off to 3.65 volts, and then after that, then you limit it to about 3.45 at the most. And 3.45 volts is about 27.6 volts. So that's all you want coming out of your charger to charge up your lithium pack. And the only thing different about it is the AGMs will charge slower. That's the only thing. But I mean, they do charge up, and they charge up just fine. It's just a little bit slower, that's all. Now, the other thing is, too, is when you get your first set of lithiums in and you got to top them off, I've seen videos where guys take chargers like this, these little wimpy 10 amp chargers here, and they'll string them all together in parallel and just let it sit there for a couple of days until they all get charged up to 3.65. Well, I ain't got the patience for that kind of crap. So what I do is I build the lithium pack like I'm going to use it and put it on the solar charger. And since I got 100 amps of charging power, I can charge these things up pretty fast. So, but what you got to do though is when you do it that way, is they're not gonna charge up balanced. One of them eventually is going to reach 3.65 volts, and the others will be lagging behind. So what you do, once you hit 3.65 volts on one battery, you just kill the whole thing, take it apart, and at that point those batteries are just about fully charged anyways. So then you can string them together in parallel and hook up one of these wimpy 10 amp chargers, and you won't have to wait forever to get them topped off to 3.65. And since we're speaking of chargers here, this is the first charger I got when I got my first lithium set, and this I've had for probably about 3 months, and I probably put about 60 hours of use into it before it bit the dust. So take a good look at that if you see something like that on eBay or Amazon or whatever. Walk away from that. It's a piece of crap. Now this one right here I got just a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't had it long enough to find out if it's going to last long or not. But because of what happened to that, I decided to go ahead and spend $7 for an extended warranty. So if anything happens to it within a couple of years, I'll replace the thing. And there's really not much difference in price between these two here. Maybe $5 at the most. It was about $70 delivered on each charger. But another thing about this charger here, this is a 4-digit readout, where this one right here was only 3-digit. So I get a lot more accurate readout on this one here than I did on this other one here. Now, what else is in the news here? Oh yeah, this is all getting put together. I just got this done today. All this put together because I've got a new inverter coming in, and right over there is my 6 kW 48 volt Gentry inverter, and I've had that almost a year now, and it's working so good I decided I'm going to get another one. So over here I've got a 2 inverter system, and this one runs at night and that one runs during the day. And 4 kW with a bunch of air conditioners running is a little bit of a strain on it, so I decided I'm gonna put that into retirement and keep it for a backup and get me a new inverter. So right up there's the board ready for the new one. The order's been put in, and it should be here within a couple of weeks. Let's see, what else is there to talk about here? Oh yeah, now I did want to get a backup for my 48 volt, and right there is a Growatt 6 kW inverter right there. Now, from videos that I watched on YouTube, the Growatt 6 kW inverter, supposedly, from what I heard on the videos, can put all 6 kW out on 120 volts. Well, after buying this thing and checking it out a little bit closer, that is not the case. You got 2 breakers right here, and each one of these breakers is 32 amps. So if you exceed, like say 35 amps on one of the legs, you're going to lose your power. So I've got a $1,000 inverter here that I don't really need, so I'm probably going to sell that and put it into a new lithium pack. Let's see. Did I forget anything? No, I think that about covers it. Well, everyone, appreciate you watching, and whenever something interesting pops up, I'll come back with another video. Thanks for watching, and see y'all again soon.